going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Blue Crew? This is Ball Hawk, the Fatima, the founder of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it is Friday. It is the day before the NFL playoffs get going. Let's face it, we're all probably going to be glued to TV screens throughout the weekend, at least paying attention to who the Detroit Lions are going to be playing in the upcoming week, seeing matchups, talking about who's a good fit, who's a good bad fit for the Lions to play, all that kind of stuff. Hey, it's playoffs. It's what we do as fans. We're also going to be talking about a lot of other things. How's this guy looking? Who's this guy going somewhere? There's a lot of stuff going on right now in the NFL. You guys are aware of it. I'm aware of it. And, national media is aware of it. Hey, you've got Lions coaches left, right, and back, forth, up, down, whatever you want to say, being interviewed. The assistant of the special teams plotter and planner is being interviewed for a head coaching job or something. And yes, that's a joke. But the Lions have so much talent, at least from a league perspective, on this coaching staff, this front office staff, whatever you want to say, the janitorial staff. They're all getting interviewed for new positions everywhere because everybody wants to be a part of this organization. And let me say this, could you blame them? The Lions they've gone from here and become over here. In fact, let's take a look at that real quick. The turnaround, 2021, we all remember it so well. There were a lot of people saying this was a horrible coaching hire, bad front office, the whole shebang and bang. Lions in 2021, first year under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, 3-13-1. And yes, if you're a Lions fan, you remember the celebration just over getting a tie in Pittsburgh. Then just a few weeks later, you got a win against the Minnesota Vikings. St. Brown, if you probably remember, caught the ball in the end zone with time running out. A couple weeks later, you beat, at that time, the number one team in the NFL, and that was the Arizona Cardinals. And then you finished the year by beating Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. 2022, we all remember this pretty well. The Lions started the year, I think it was 1-5 or 1-6. And if you guys remember, if you've been a fan of Lions Talk Live, you'll remember Dan O'Damas went on air when the team was 1-5 and said, hey, 2024, the Lions, that season, they're going to make the Super Bowl. And you know what? It looks like Dan O'Damas is about 2 wins away from having that foretelling of the future come to pass. Last year, I think we all get it. You won the NFC North. You're 12-5. You are the it team nationally. Everybody, every kind of broadcast network wants the Detroit Lions on the air. We get it. They're the hottest thing in the NFL. That has continued this year. We're 15-2. And if you thought, it would be hard to beat 12-5 a year ago, you're not wrong. Lions found a way to do it. Could some of that turnaround be, as we saw last week, so good to see this guy back in action? Probably true. Yes, King Thor, whatever you want to call him, he does add a whole lot to the defense, and I think that's going to be true throughout the playoffs. We probably, as fans, didn't fully understand just how impactful he was a linebacker. Most across the NFL probably think he's not an average linebacker, but he's not elite. He's somewhere in between. But it was evident real quick watching him in coverage on some of, the Minnesota Vikings' best tight ends and other players, just how good Anzalone is in coverage. And yes, it'll be a big weapon to have him back. All that has led us to, of course, become the Kings of the North for the second straight year. And now the playoffs are, like I said, just basically whatever it is, 30-some hours away from happening. All right, a couple things before we get into the 5 headlines now, the main topic of the day, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're making that march for 12,800 subs, and we are, 42 subs away from that. So if you can help out with that, that would be great. Also, it's free of charge, takes half a second of time. Reach on down, hit that thumbs up button, that like button, hit all the buttons, hit the buttons for the button. It helps everybody on YouTube out a lot. So if you're really a fan of a particular channel, content creator or creators, whatever it is, help them out. They're working their butt off for you. just take a half second to hit those buttons. And again, you'll be doing everything you possibly can to help out that individual. All right, last but never least, in case you were unaware, I am a realtor when I'm not a YouTuber or a coach. So if you're looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the continental United States, let alone the state of Michigan, give me a call or shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. I'll help you buy that new home, sell your home, get you some commercial property, maybe vacant land to build a home, go hunting, whatever it may be. Go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. If you are outside of the state of Michigan, I can still work with you. You just have to do a few things a little bit differently. Again, 269-998-2384. All right, with all the jibber jabber out of the way, let's go ahead and get this show rolling and going and get on over to the first segment of the show. And as you guys know, that is 5 headlines now. And I've got good news for you on this Friday, the day before the kickoff of the NFL playoffs. You're going to get a glorious 6th headline. I know, free of charge. I'm not going to charge anything for this one. I just thought, hey, I got some pretty good headlines here, but there was one I just couldn't resist. So let's get into it. 5 headlines now. Lions designate cornerback Enos Rexstraw to return. Story John Macron, SI.com with this one. Hey, good news because the Lions, we get it. Terrion Arnold might not be 100% when he takes the field next week, although I do think he is going to play. At least early reports suggest that the Lions probably could use a little bit more depth in the secondary. Emmanuel Mosley, don't ask. I'm not going into it. Somebody else wants to break that story, go for it. I just think right now for me as a reporter, it's a no-fly zone. I'm not touching it. But the Lions could use some more speed. We haven't seen a lot of Rexstraw during the regular season, a little bit here and there. He is a rookie. He's a rookie who also hasn't got a lot of snaps. So I wouldn't have overly high expectations of him. But I will say this, if this coaching staff puts him on the field, that means they have expectations for him and respect for what he's going to do. So we'll wait and see. This broke yesterday, but I didn't really want to do another video on it since I kind of did something with the coaching staff being interviewed by everybody. But for those who are not aware, Detroit Lions, Hank Fraley to interview with Seahawks for offensive coordinator position. Sports Illustrated story by Christian Borer with this one. And we've been talking about this. I feel like, man, since last year, I really thought Fraley, in my opinion, you hear all the coaches, you hear the players talk about him just chef's kiss, eloquently, over the top good. And you watch what he's done with a lot of the young, raw molds of clay, the Giovanni Manus, the Sorsdales, etc., as far as the offensive line guys that they've been able to draft, Detroit Lions been able to draft, they were completely raw. They weren't ready for the NFL. But what he reportedly has been able to do with these guys, that's a real testament to him. He's been learning under Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, and other people for the offense coordinator position. I'm personally happy to see him get interview requests because sometimes, at least in my opinion, too often you're the offensive line coach. People overlook you just because I guess there's a stigma that, man, what do these guys really know? Can they really call plays? They're just offensive line guys. So I'm glad to see that at least one organization out there, and I'm sure there will be others, have recognized that this guy might have intrinsic information that would make an NFL team and an NFL offense better. So kudos to him. Lions defense coordinator Aaron Glenn rejects head coaching interview requests. The Sporting News. Hey, we get it. Aaron Glenn's going to get some interviews. He's going to get some calls. One of them he did not want to do was with the New England Patriots. So why that is not disclosed. My assumption is, though, and this is pure speculation. So before somebody comes after me in the comments section, either live or on a replay in the future, I don't know this. It's speculation. I think that's probably a strong indication. Aaron Glenn feels like Ben Johnson is a front runner there, and perhaps even the place that Ben Johnson wants to go to is the New England Patriots. So, maybe out of respect for his buddy, his compadre, or whatever you want to say, Ben Johnson, I'll let you guys interview him. I'm going to focus my attentions elsewhere. So I still think he's probably the front runner, Ben Johnson, that is, for either New England or I guess you could say Jacksonville. I mean, they would both make sense in my opinion. Aaron Glenn, I still think is going to be a front runner for either Las Vegas or New Orleans Saints, and maybe other ones. Maybe I'm not privy to them all, but hey, good for him for turning one down. Let's see, David Montgomery, injury update, latest news on Lions running back status for a playoff. Sporting News, story by Mike Moratis, longtime sports reporter. Mike Moratis and covers the Lions. I do think all signs are pointing towards when next weekend comes, whatever we may play next weekend, I do think he's going to go on and be on the field. I'm going to personally, and again, I don't have any information on this. It's just speculation on my part. I think the Lions are probably going to limit him to about 30 to 40% of the snaps. I don't think it's going to be a complete 50-50 snap count on the running back splitting of the carries. I think it's going to be closer to 30-40. Some of that is to protect Montgomery, keep him going throughout the playoffs, keep him fresh. The other part is you look at what Gibbs has done in Montgomery's absence, and he might be the best running back in the NFL during that time. You look at his stats throughout the season, and the fact that we can all say, man, he's doing that while sharing the carries. Imagine what if he went for all the games and carried 90% of the plays. He might just be like the new record holder for multiple yardage, different situations across the NFL. Let alone his Madden stats might be through the roof, but that's a different story. But hey, good for Montgomery for powering through. It sounds like his gamble to not do the surgery, to just kind of go through rehab is really paying off. Kudos, and that's going to be a big plus for the Lions going into the playoffs. All right, Detroit Lions DB's coach Sean Townsend interviews for 49ers defense coordinator job. Story by Mike Burkett, Troy Free Press. Look, I think Townsend, we talked about it when he was hired. I think it was a great hire for the Lions. I think that has proven weight over the season. Dude knows football without question. He can get guys pumped up, motored up, and what I like is technique growth. Part of being a coach, you look for different things. I look for the hand placements, especially when you're talking about how they're in and out of coverages, breaks, etc. Look at last weekend's game against the Minnesota Vikings. From a technical standpoint, I thought there is clear development of Terrion Arnold from when he started to where he is now. He doesn't look like a rookie anymore to me. I get he's still going to make mistakes. And you look at other guys out there, Meek Robinson, obviously he's been in the league for a while, but man, I think as far as the slot, he started off here. And again, you saw clear growth, at least in my opinion. You can have your own opinion over the course of the season, and you've seen that with other DBs. I think Townsend probably is going to get a defensive coordinator job. I was wondering when we hired him if this was basically a one-year rental. The guy just seemed too good to me to stick around for long. If Aaron Glenn does get hired somewhere else, he does seem like a good fit. Same with Shepard for the defensive coordinator position. Can't give them both, which means you probably can't keep them both. Somebody's going to look to elevate their career elsewhere, but it's part of the business. There's no way around it. All right, and the bonus 5 headline now, so 6 headline, I guess now. Probably not a big surprise here to anybody, but Kelly Stafford wanted the Los Angeles Rams to play the Detroit Lions in the wild card game. Detroit news. Hey, we get it. The Staffords were once, and to be fair to them, they're probably still pretty beloved here. They did a lot for the community, a lot for different organizations here, donated a lot of money, got out and did things. It's just, it really has kind of become like jilted ex-lovers between, I guess you could say, parts of the Detroit media and the Staffords. And I'm not going to spend all day on this. Kelly Stafford, she's her own individual. I do kind of think like, man, she really enjoys the spotlight. Maybe that's the polite way to put it. And I think she enjoys keeping her family, in the spotlight and somewhat famous or noteworthy. Maybe that's a better way to put it. But Kelly Stafford, we'll talk about this a little bit more during the main topic of the day. All right, with all that said, let's go over and get into this. I probably should have worn some tinfoil on my head for this one, but we'll get into it in the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day. If anybody's watched this channel for any kind of length of time, or if you've ever read any of my stories when I worked for the AP or whoever else, every once in a while I would do a piece on the Detroit Lions onto, at least in my viewpoint, doing, I think the main story I wrote for the AP regarding the fracture between the NFL, the Detroit Lions, how it began and all that stuff. I remember the NFL used to really kind of be almost accused, and this is going back a ways, but almost be accused of showing favoritism towards the Detroit Lions. And then Roger Goodell came on. He wanted to take the Thanksgiving Day game away from the Detroit Lions. Lions fought back. There was a big meeting. I want to say it was out in Arizona, owners meeting or whatever. Goodell, this was his first year as the commissioner of the NFL, and he proposed it. The Lions got a lot of the old guard, older owners in the NFL to push back against it, and did allow owners did allow the Lions to keep that game. Goodell wanted it more rotating. Lions weren't strong back then. It hadn't been for about a decade. So he was looking during, especially the financial crisis, et cetera, to try to exert himself, try to bring in more revenue. So where am I going with all this? You want to know if there are any kind of objectives from the NFL, not just for the Lions, but for other teams. It's been suggested for a long time. Man, if you guys remember Goff, man, what was it, his rookie year, whatever year, I try to remember where they faced New Orleans, and there was a glaring pass interference in the end zone. It wasn't called or whatever. Just, hey, helped one team, didn't hurt the other team. But there's always situations like that. I myself have come out and said I do think the NFL is a business. Doesn't mean they intentionally throw a game one way or the other. I don't think they do that. But let's use the Rams as an example. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. First game of the season for Detroit and LA. LA is clearly beat up. Lions are not. If you go back and rewatch that game, you guys get bored this week and whatever, go ahead and watch that game for the first three quarters. Tell me if Hutchinson, Ali McNeil, DJ Reader, your dad or mom who's pass rushing Matt Stafford, tell me if they're not thrown to the ground and intentionally held and helping that patchwork Rams offensive line get through that game. Watch it now how that is universally one way in the first three quarters, but the fourth quarter when the game's actually close, are the refs put in a position where they have to start calling it? In my opinion, you can have your own. The answer is yes. They completely change how they're calling the holding at the line of scrimmage because it's a close game at that point. They don't want anything to be glaring, et cetera, et cetera. The other part for the NFL is they didn't want a blowout on their Sunday night prime, first week of the NFL season game, the first Sunday night game of the NFL season, which, hey, if I stop Matt Stafford for getting slapped all around all night long, you're probably going to at least have an opportunity to have a closer game. And, hey, I'll just say this. Maybe I should wear tinfoil for this, but I'm going to be watching these games this weekend, not to see the direct impact on the Detroit Lions, but to see what the NFL, do they really want to try to push a particular game into existence? I don't think they can outright throw a game. Again, I want to be clear on that. But can they kind of show favoritism towards one team than another? In my opinion, yes. And it does happen. Now, the players, the coaches on the field can still control the outcome of the game. I want to be real clear on that. But if you've been a Lions fan as long as I am, let me tell you, the process of the catch, nobody had ever heard of that ever before until Kelvin Johnson went in the end zone, clearly caught a pass, started celebrating, dropped the pass. He didn't complete the process of the catch. Have you ever really seen that used since then? Probably not. Probably never will again. And I can go through a laundry list of situations like that have affected the Detroit Lions. Again, based on, I don't even remember. I think I've spent like 6 months researching that story before I wrote it and print it. There were just so many things, and all of them didn't seem to happen before 2006, but they sure did happen after Goodell got shot down wanting to switch the Thanksgiving Day game from the Detroit Lions. All of a sudden this call, that call, this call. I mean, you get the idea. So I'm going to wonder this weekend if the NFL is going to want to kind of work into an existence a particular matchup that would benefit ratings, benefit, who would be a bigger paying market or markets, I should say, for two teams, etc. Real quick, let's go into this, just because I promised I would do that this weekend, and I won't save it for tomorrow, but who do you think would be the most ideal matchup for the Detroit Lions? So my opinion only. Let's look at it one game at a time here. We'll only focus on the NFC because really AFC just doesn't affect. And tomorrow, both games are AFC. So let's go to January 12th. You've got Packers, Eagles. I actually think the Packers have a chance, and I get the Packers are incredibly decimated right now. I just think with the Eagles, you do have some injuries. Obviously, the quarterback position's pretty beat up for them, not just the start, but the backup as well. Could the Packers pull off that upset? That would be massive because that's who the Detroit Lions would then face in the first playoff game. But the one of interest to me, in just being full disclosure here, I think is Vikings Rams. I think, hey, you look at what's going on right now in LA. Would it be an economic boom or probably a ratings boom to have the Rams make it through that game to the next game? I think so. So I'll be paying a lot of attention to that one. If the Lions do face the Vikings again, I did a story yesterday on it, how the Lions are already talking to the NFL about a couple of, I don't want to call them cheats, but let's just say the Vikings clearly in our last game against them on the Sunday Night Football a week ago, they were clearly massaging. Maybe that's a good way to put it. They were massaging an NFL rule with the play clock to try to use it to their advantage, to try to get the Lions defense in a bad situation and try to reveal who's blitzing, who's not blitzing. Buccaneers, Commanders. I actually think that the Commanders are going to win this one, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout like 57-3 or something like that. But I could see the Commanders winning this one 28-21. Packers, I'm going to go with 34-27, and I'm actually going to take the Rams over the Vikings. I think it's going to be a close one, though. I'll go with 30-28. So those are my score predictions for this weekend. All right, so am I just crazy to think that maybe the NFL, Roger Goodell, is going to try to help massage some of these contests this weekend to try to encourage, maybe that's a good way to frame it, encourage better playoff matchups for the second round, etc., for ratings from just making money standpoint. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I've just watched this league too long to think that the players and the coaches, I want to be real clear, I still think they control the games. I don't think there's any outright fixing. But again, I do think to a certain degree the NFL steps in and says, maybe if it's a 50-50 situation here, the officials can step in here. And maybe it's not even the officials on the field. Maybe, as we all know, you can get the calls from New York that come and say, we're reviewing that. We don't think that was a catch. And again, referring to the Kelvin Johnson rule, because remember, on the field, that was a touchdown. They were almost ready to kick the extra point when all of a sudden a call from New York comes in and says, we kind of looking at this and we don't think it's a touchdown. And if you're a Lion, you've probably seen 50 million of these situations. Thankfully, we're not playing this weekend, so we can't be overtly affected by it. But I do think the NFL is always going to try to protect one thing, the bank account of the NFL. So watch these games closely. I've given you my score predictions, who I think will play, and I'll throw this out here into existence right here and right now. Do you think it would be a huge money maker for the city of Los Angeles to have the Rams make the NFC title game in a matchup against their former quarterback, Jared Goff? And yes, the Detroit Lions versus the Rams again. Hey, we'll wait and see what shakes out, but that could happen. All right, Duke Crew, I'm going to take off the tinfoil and the conspiracy theorist cap. Now that we've talked about it, let's see what you guys have to say about all these topics and whatever else you want to throw out there. It is a Friday. It is, we got the 37 minutes till I got to get out of here. So if you got anything out there, whether it's these topics or other topics, by all means, throw it over in the comments section. If you guys got score predictions for this weekend for each of the playoff matchups, just focus on the NFC, not the AFC, because obviously we won't worry about that until the Super Bowl. But go ahead and throw them in the comment section as well. All right, Michael D, greetings, salutations, Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation points, Superdome, Super Bowl, what pride, woo, woo, and back at you. JDC, morning all, and same to you. Rob, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. The Lions are the grooviest, Daddy-O. I like the way you're thinking as always, my friend. Clark, give me a woo, Coach Dan. I can't wait to watch the games this weekend. Figured out who we are going to play. Yeah, figure out who we're going to play 100%. You want a woo? I'll give you a woo. How about a 1, 2, and a 3, and a... And will you go? Trump's, woo! We are in a chaos phase. Enjoy the show. 100%, man. The calm before the storm. Come tomorrow, man. The playoffs are going to be here. Chaos will ensue. Rob, be groovy and hit that woo button for Coach Dan, Daddy-O. Thank you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Eddie, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. I can't be surprised at all if Goodell and the NFL has some real controversy this weekend. It's what they do. Let's be fair. The NFL is unlike, I should say, any other professional franchise or league in the United States. Everybody is so passionate about their teams that if there is controversy, how many more likes does that provide? How many more views does that provide? It is a business. I'm not saying it's the WWE. I'm not doing that. But I also do feel the NFL is, like I said, going to massage certain things to try to help its own agenda at times. Trey, what's going on this morning? Question mark. Ray coming back finally makes me feel a little bit better about the secondary. Yeah, it should. Rakestraw, hey, dude's got speed. He's got wheels. He's good in man coverage. He is a rookie, so keep expectations somewhat tempered. He's not going to come out there and be, Champ Bailey 2.0, at least not yet. But he does add, like you're saying, a little bit more to the secondary. John, good morning, Coach. And Duke Crew, don't think it will be Vikings. AG put out blueprint how to beat them. If I can't speak to just use the Rams as the example. I can't speak to their secondary if they can replicate what the Lions do, because the Lions do play innately, even before that game last weekend, a ton of man-to-man coverage. They are physical at the line of scrimmage. They just took it to another level for that game, and you could see where it did catch the Vikings off guard. Justin Jefferson was clearly rattled, started focusing more on other things other than the next play. And anytime you can get a player, I don't care if it's basketball, volleyball, soccer, football, whatever, to stop thinking about the next play and start thinking about the past plays, you do have an advantage, in my opinion. Tori, greetings and salutations. Duke Crew, sounds like every coach we have is getting interview requests. You're not wrong. They all are. JDC, I ain't scared. Go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. And yeah, the eye sees all. Detroit D, greetings and salutations, everyone. Back at you, my friend. Good to see you as always in the morning. Troy, almost forgot to give Coach Dan a shout out. Got into the Hall of Fame, I heard. Not into it, but I got nominated for it. Yeah, I got nominated for the, the Michigan one a couple of months ago. And then, I got nominated overseas for one of their Hall of Fames. But again, it's great to be nominated. I'll be straight up honest. I don't think I'll ever get into either one of them. I'm just not political enough. I speak my mind too much, and that doesn't always work in situations like this. All right, Patrick, but thank you for that. Thank you either way, though, Tori. Patrick, good morning, Duke Crew. I just hope we play someone different this playoff game. I'm tired of beating the Rams or the Vikings or the Packers. Man, we can get the sisters of the poor, the deaf, dumb, and the blind out there. As long as it gets us a win, I don't care who we beat. But, yeah, I get what you're saying, Patrick. It would be nice to see some new matchups out there. There's just a lot of familiar ones, the Lions. But when you have a first-place schedule, you're probably playing during the regular season a lot of those teams who will make the playoffs. Flathead Frank, we should all watch this weekend's games so we can speak this into existence. Watch Jaden Daniels and hope AG is working on a plan against mobile quarterbacks. Woo! I'm down with that 100%. Let's see. Jess, sup, Duke Crew? Ready to see our guys get back on the field, but really thankful we had this week off for the rest of them to rest and recover. 100%, yeah. Huge advantage. Let's see. Rob, Tori, MHSA or Hall of Fame? No, I guess I got nominated for that a couple months ago. But again, I don't think I'll ever get into that one or FIBA overseas or anything like that. It just, I don't do the politics things. I don't kiss butts enough. Let's see. Susan, morning, Duke Crew. Any injury updates on players? Trying to think if there were any. David Montgomery we covered. Rakestraw we covered. Anybody else beyond that, I don't know. Maybe we'll get something, today, tomorrow, or whatever, but I don't think there's anything pending right now. See, Mr. Nico, good to see you. Feels like it's been a hot minute. The Lions are the heroes of the NFL needs right now. The Lions have brought the most entertaining and exciting games we've seen recently. We're putting eyes on the product. That's and that's good business, 100%. People, you're 100% right. You remember last year during the playoffs, if your team wasn't playing against the Lions, you were tuning in to watch the Lions. And I don't remember all the graphics, but I remember watching them for each of the playoff games, especially when you got to the NFC title game. I want to say it was like 70% of America were tuning in and cheering on the Lions. And, hey, that's also why you had every network this year wanting to play the Lions games or broadcast, whatever you want to say. Lauren, good morning, all. I'll be posting a video tonight on Michigan Panther Pride. We'll be checking it out. Jameer, greetings, salutations, Duke family. Same to you. Tori, Rob Kendall, I believe FIBA. Yes, correct. Jameer, congratulations, Coach. Thank you for that. JDC, Coach Dan rocks. Hey, and Dre Forge rolls. Rob, congrats, Coach Dan the man. Thank you for that. We'll see what happens with it. Stephanie, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. So who is our worst matchup? Question mark. Something about the Rams and another Stafford showdown is bugging me. I get it. Stafford, he's a good quarterback. He would have a chip on his shoulder. I'm sure the Rams would have a chip on their shoulders. They've got some good receivers, too. So it may not be the most ideal matchup. I don't remember anything about their defense, or at least where they currently are. But I'll just say wait and see what shakes out this weekend, then we'll break things down. Trump prayers for the arson victims in California. The massive fires going on. What's causing it all, and the winds and stuff. I know Jen was watching a bunch of it on TV last night. We've got, I think I told you guys yesterday, some friends and family that live out there. So just thoughts and prayers, because I want to say the last thing I saw, and don't hold me to it, was like 40 square miles had burned up. And that's a massive amount of land. France, yes, praying for California, watching some clips on LA. It's now looks like it's out of The Walking Dead or something. Yeah, it's burnt up. Yeah, it's streets are just gone. Everything on the streets are gone. Businesses, houses, we get it, man. Robert, greetings, salutations, Dan Thornton and Duke Crew. Woo! Back at you, Robert. Good to see you as always, my friend. Trump's the longest 10 days in U.S. history. Hey, we're down to what? Well, I guess potentially 8 days until we play again. So, hey, we'll get them by one day at a time. Johnny L., good morning, crew. Same to you, Papa. May it be a wonderful day for all in the Duke Crew. And back at you, my friend. Well said, my friend. Quitting, greetings, salutations. So what do the NFL not want? I don't think they want some particular matchups. And I get it, man. What you want, what you get are two different things. I want to be clear on that. I don't think the NFL is rigging anything. But, hey, could they let that hold go? Maybe they call a PI. That's a little questionable. The biggest thing I'd say, it's no different at any level. Try to avoid leaving it into somebody other than the players or coaches' hands. And we don't always agree with it as fans, but sometimes I know one thing the NBA is kind of done more like the last 15 years. Late game situations, they don't want it coming down to an official's call. And we can, if that's your team that doesn't get the call, you're probably not happy about it if you don't get the call. But the NBA, the last, like I said, 10, 15 years, whatever it is, late game situations, probably the one I remember the most is the Golden State Warriors versus Cleveland. LeBron clearly fouls KD. It wasn't egregious, but it's a foul when KD is going the baseline. And this is probably whatever it is, 6 years ago. And the refs don't call it. KD's still going to get the shot off. It's not ideal, but the NBA does not want the official to determine who wins or loses the finals. And I think the NFL, it's just a different sport, so it's hard to compare apples to oranges. But there are some times where I think the NFL may want to say, that's iffy enough or a flip of the coin enough where we don't want you to call it, or you call it to kind of maybe show favoritism towards one team. I don't know. Again, tinfoil hats on today. Johnny L., the Duke Crew is the best. No, you guys, the Duke Crew are the best. Robert, it will be good for Detroit to bring in new people, fresh ideas, and enthusiasm. The framework is in place along with culture. Yeah, I'd say so. Just because we may lose some guys, and we will lose some coordinators or coaches, I should say, doesn't mean the next person isn't going to have the same kind of level or even better when it comes to ideas or coaching. You just have to trust that the new people they hire, are going to do a great job. Southwest Line, good morning, all. Is Ben Johnson interviewing with the Raiders? I think that's one of the ones on the list, although I don't have it in front of me, Southwest, so don't hold me to it, but that sounds right. Sosimo, we will lose a few coaches. No way we keep them all. I just hope the replacements or new hires bring something to the table. Yeah, spot on with that, 100%. Robert, Brad Holmes, and Dan Kimball must never be poached. They are absolutely keys to our success. Yeah, I don't see either one of them leaving. I want to say, and I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday, that both of them re-signed new contract or contract extensions last year. And I want to say they're here for like another 5 years or something like that. So they're not going anywhere. Robert, I hope we can keep our special teams coach. He is under the radar good. Yeah, I think he does a very, very good job. So great call on that, Robert. Voltron Force Vikings were trying to cheat on us. Glad the coaches are calling them out to the NFL. Yeah, I think you talk about political stuff. The Lions are trying to set some stuff up so other teams can't replicate that quote-unquote massaging of the rule, the gray area, because we get it. The Vikings had 7 plays where it should have been called a delay of game. The Vikings used that to their advantage, got the Lions to overtly reveal who was coming, et cetera, on the blitz so they can really make some last-second reads. And conversely, those were their 7 biggest plays of the game. So the Lions are probably doing the proactive move a little bit before, a week before they probably will play their first playoff game. They don't want everybody, whether it's the Vikings, whoever, trying to use that loophole again. So they're, talking to the NFL about it. Server, good morning, coach and everyone. Back at you, Server. Jason, Green Sanitation's Duke Crew, COVID recovery nearly finished. Glad to hear that, man. I know you've been fighting it a little bit. That extra week off of recovery was critical. I see what I did there? Yes, I do. Superdome or bust. Glad to see you're feeling better, man. Southwest Land, I'm surprised the Patriots didn't lock up Vrabel last night with the Raiders and Tom Brady lurking. I think that's probably where they're going to go, is hiring Vrabel, but I also think they're going to do their due diligence. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, we'll see what shakes out. Johnny L., I hope we can keep all of them. That would be great, wouldn't it? Dave Bing, so what do you think we will lose Duke Crew from the staff? I don't even want to speculate on it. I hope we keep them all, but, hey, guys are going to want to advance their careers. I get it as a coach. Pat, I hope we get to play the Vikings again. We might just get that wish. Southwest Line, MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell is not giving much credit for knowing about the intricacies of offense. Well, he knew enough that a change had to be made when Goff wasn't clicking with Anthony Lynn. Yeah, they did make the change. For whatever reason, it didn't work out for Coach Lynn, but, I think he's moved on and done fairly well. Jason, more importantly, who is available for us to hire as OC and DC? I personally think, Jason, they're going to keep it in-house. It just seems to, you look at how we draft, how we re-sign guys, they want to keep it inside. And I think that's going to continue on to the coaching staff as well. Who's going to get the jobs? We'll wait and see. Let the guys handle that. Robert, thank God, Jason Berry, you're okay. And the Tree of Destiny, 100% protect that tree at all costs. Hookadoo, good morning, Duke Crew. Can I get a, oh yeah, Duke Crew? I can't give you an oh yeah, but how about a, as good as I can do right now. Sorry, man. Miles Barker, greetings, salutations, and congrats, Coach, on the Hall of Fame. Not there yet, man, but definitely, if I get in, great. That would be awesome. Hey, I'd be drinking a lot of Mountain Dew and celebrating, and probably just regular Mountain Dew, no Diet Dew. I guess maybe I'm keeping my temperament low on it, just because I don't want to get disappointed if it doesn't happen. Robert, hire from within, probably what they'll do. Robert, good morning, 5 a.m. Let's go Lions. Where are you at? I guess I don't remember, but you're obviously not in Eastern Standard Time. Robert and Robert Salza, yeah, he'll be highly in demand. I know he's getting interview requests from different teams. Robert L., I bet they hire with them from within. Yeah, I think that could definitely be a possibility. Lions Talk Live fan, good morning all. Back at you. Hookadoo, morning Miles Bar, and congrats, Coach. Thank you. Johnny L. from within, yes, sir. Silver Server, we said it many times on the show. Dan Campbell is everything but a meathead. Correct on that. I think you're spot on with that. The contrary is where very heady as far as I can see. Yeah, I think he processes things pretty clearly. I think he does a great job of stuff. Yes, not everybody agrees with the fourth down stuff, but you know what? You look at that turnaround, and I know we put it on earlier. Let me see if I can bring it back up. But hey, you are what your record says you are, and you know what? This is what we can say about MCDC. Every season, it's been up and away. So I'm just going to go with that and say, hey, thank you for all you're doing, MCDC, for the Duke Crew and everything else. So. All right, let's see if I remember where I was at since I had to take that off the screen. Sorry. We lose it. I'm trying to remember here. All right, I'm trying to find the right spot here. Probably going to mess this up. Okay, yep, already got that one. Hookadoo. Good morning, Duke Crew. Got that one. Got them hired from within. Yep, Johnny L. Good morning. Yeah, I'm trying to fire it up. Said many times. All right, got that one. Yep, loss. Let's just win, then worry about hiring. I agree with that, 100%. Let's get through this season before we worry about next season. JC, Motor City Duke Crew, back at you. Paul, let's go. I like the way you're thinking. Mike K. Hutchinson debuts Blue Steels, maybe. Robert, Dan Campbell equals wall. Yes, I wouldn't want to run through that wall. Patrick W., let's get that W next weekend. Mike K., oh, yeah. There you go. Southwest, I'm not worried about who the Lions play. The key is how the Lions play. Ooh, spoken like a real coach there. We'll take care of our own business. Patrick, woo! Super Bowl, here we come. Yes, indeed. The Trim Reaper from undesirable to undeniable! Exclamation points. Go Lions. Woo! Back at you. Ken, greetings, salutations, Dan and Duke Crew. Same to you, my friend. Hopefully it's real early where you're at. Robert, any word on Hertz? Zertz, maybe. Zettler, maybe. Nothing that I've heard of as of yet. My anticipation is, Robert, he's going to be okay. Miles Barr, oh yeah, grit, hookadoo. All right. Let's see. Silver Server, just enjoy the moment and wait to see how it all will shape out with the Lions coaches. Yeah, 100%. Get through this season. Wait and see what happens next. Mike K, will be nice to see Notre Dame lose to Ohio on big stage. Yeah, we'll see what shakes out. Brother Ken, did you see the standing ovation Brad Holmes received at the Pistons game? I heard about it. I didn't see it, but hey, you see a lot of the Lions players going to Pistons games. A number of realtors, buddies I have went to the game last night. Wish I could have made it, man, but just being coach mode and everything this time of year, it's hard for me to get away, especially a couple-hour drive to Detroit and then back. Rocky M, good morning, all. We'll be watching and really relaxing this weekend. Still think they could wait until after the season to do the coaching stuff. 100%. They could, but hey, most of the teams, we get it. Their season's done. They're worried about next year, so that's what speeds it up. Robert, greetings, salutations. Will Rakestraw get the start next week? Really don't trust Vildor. Go Lions. I would say this, Robert. I get the flack Vildor gets, but if the coaches put him out there, that tells you, and they see them every day, the players, that tells you they have more trust in Vildor than Rakestraw at this point. Dunk Kong, Super Bowl or bust. Woo! Good to see you, my friend. Hey, continuing the tradition. Miles Mark, glad you're feeling better. Jason Mary, 100%, man. I know you've been fighting it. I've been fighting it a wee bit. Southwest Lion, good coaching and good players are suddenly want to be with the Lions. I correct on that. I think MCDC will be able to find good replacements, whether it's from within or outside the organization. Oh, yeah, spot on with that. Man Bear, good morning. Same to you, my friend. Good to see you. Trina, good morning, everyone from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Everyone have a safe and blessed day. Go Lions. Good to see you, Trina. And who doesn't love Kalamazoo? Robert, you are your record. Bill Parcells. Spot on with that, man. He was very wise with that. Flathead, don't fret. Exclamation point. The Lions will have a line around the block of great candidates itching for an opportunity to work with the Lions. Woo! Yeah, let that sink in. You are now the IT franchise everybody wants to coach at, play at, etc. Anymore. Good morning, Coach Dan and Duke. What a time to be a Lions fan. Super Bowl bound, uncharted waters, and determined to conquer. 100%. Let's go get that Super Bowl, my friend. Robert, used to be safe media to say the Lions were bad. Brand new Lions. You are correct on that. The brand new Lions. Rocky, they said it was a 3 to 4 year plan when they were all hired in, and it's looking good. Yes, hey, last year was a huge breakthrough. This year continues that trend. Detroit D, I love the Duke crew. This is an awesome chat with diehard Lions fans. Hey, we love you too, man. And yeah, I think we all get along pretty well in here. Thomas, good morning from, Carlton, Georgia, from Royal Oak. Go Lions. Hey, hopefully you're doing well down there, my friend, and hopefully your weather's a little warmer than ours. Silver Server, good point. Flathead, I'll go with that. JDC, Drake Forge rocks, and he rolls. Southwest, if I get to pick one to stay, it's Ben Johnson. Okay, yeah, it might be him. JP, good morning, Coach. Woo! And back at you, Rob. Dan Damas, the procrastinator of the Groovy. All right, I'll go with all the above. How about that? Foreteller of the future. Rondo in North Carolina, by being a recognized coaching and front office, quote, tree, will attract the best new talent. Yeah, you're probably spot on with that. I'm not worried about the potential losses. There you go. Southwest, no team is perfect when it comes to personnel. I wish the Lions had a do-over on Starling Thomas. I get it, man. I get it. You know, Starling Thomas, I know they didn't want to let him go. Why they did, it is what it is. Detroit D, I believe our offense will start fast in the playoffs and put pressure on the other teams to keep up, and that may cause a few mistakes and turnovers. I like the way you're thinking, 100% with that. More pressure you can apply to the other team, the better. Silver Server, Rakestraw cannot start over Vildor. No experience. He would get targeted every second. Either that or Rakestraw is a true phenomenon. And I believe, better even than Arnold. And I never knew, and we never knew that. Correct with that. So I think, hey, if they go with Vildor, remember, he played pretty well in the playoffs last year. Doesn't mean he was great. Doesn't mean he was great this year. But I also think, you're as good as your last game. And last game, when he got out there, I thought he did pretty well. As Southwest Lion, Dan, I wonder if the Lions have any thoughts on giving Vaki some reps on defense. It's possible. We'll see if that comes to fruition. JDC, Tree of Destiny's roots run deep and are growing each and every day. Yes, they are. Robert, 2025, 55 years, a Lions fan. This is worth the wait. Hey, enjoy it, embrace it, record it too, so you can rewatch it. Phil, good morning. Back at you, Phil. Hopefully it's an outstanding start to your day. A Lions Talk Live fan, Manu for fullback and fourth and short. He is athletic. He is a massive human being. I wonder if they have something in the playbook for that. Brian, now going to lose our understudies. I'm less than happy. I get it, man, but it's part of being a coach. Brother Ken, Coach Dan, if you were a coordinator, would you rather be on the sidelines or up in the booth? If it was me, I'd probably rather be on the sidelines. I just feel like you get a better feel for kind of the energy of the game, the do's and don'ts. I get why some people want to go up in the stands, or excuse me, the skybox, just because you can see the field, the formations a little bit easier. That's just what I would want, but I can see the justification for either situation. Southwest Line, Philly should get an offense coordinator offer somewhere. I wonder if he has an agreement with Ben Johnson to be his OC. Could be. I would think Ben Johnson, even though you may technically have an OC, you're probably still going to make the play calls, though. JDC, Detroit Lions rebuilding since 1957. Stay tuned to Coach Dan and Lions Talk Live for more updates. Go Lions. Thank you for that, JDC. Robert, I've said it before. Ben to New England, AG to Saints. Yeah, those sounds like sound destinations for both. Silver Server, as far as the chances this coaches are going to have around the league, the chances these coaches have around the league, more than the numbers, reputation is what is going to matter. What do trusted people and players say about them? Correct on that. I think MCDC is going to talk pretty glaringly about both of them, so I'm sure that will help. All right, Robert, MCDC equals tree. Okay, I'll go with that. The Southwest Line still think Jacksonville is the favored team for Ben Johnson. If their owner has to make some adjustments to organizational structure to get Johnson, I think he will. Yeah, I think he'll be all in to get him. Stay winning. Good morning, Lions Talk Live, and back at you. Hopefully you're doing well. Vernon, good morning, Coach and Duke. Coach, we need to be patient. All these guys being interviewed might want to stay in Detroit. We know some of the guys will leave. Yeah, some will leave, some will stay. We'll see what all shakes out after we win the Super Bowl. Robert, when is the last time Lions coaches have been this great top? Yeah, they haven't been targeted like this in my lifetime. Rob, when you're the quarterback of their local team, you're a hero to the kids. Stafford also donated his time to the Children's Hospital. Yes, the Staffords, when they were here, man, they did a lot of great stuff for the community, for the team. I mean, we all get it, man. And I wish him and his family nothing but the best. But obviously, things have somewhat changed since they have departed Detroit. And, Kelly Stafford's entitled to her opinion. I just think, she's going a little over the top with some of this. Silver, you still have to manage Gibbs' snaps. He gives 110% every play. I agree with that. Great athlete, but he is not a physical specimen. Like Barry was basically a 400-plus fellow stuck in a 5'8" player, so managed Sonic. Yeah, I think you have to. You take all the pads off Gibbs. He's not a big, huge dude by any stretch of the imagination. So I get what you're saying. Southwest, with the fires in Southern California, I wonder if that will give both Los Angeles teams extra motivation to win. It could be, totally, 100%. Win for your city. You've got some people to try to help out. If nothing else, provide distractions and mentally, emotionally for them from the reality of their situation. So good call on that, Southwest. Well, again, I would love to have a wife like Kelly Stafford. At least she has her man's back. You're not wrong. She's hey, you come at my guy, I'm going to come get you. Rob Silver, agreed. Reynolds got some stamps in Knuckles' absence as well. I'm correct with that. I think Baki got one or two as well. Southwest Line, Roger Goodell does have a huge grudge against Lions. Yes, they upset him. The Trim Reaper, Raj as an NPC, could be. Brother Ken, Roger Goodell is the David Stern of the NFL. For some reason, he dislikes Detroit. You're not wrong there. And, again, I didn't want to go all into it. I gave you guys a little bit of it. If you really want to know my full thoughts, you can find some of the old videos online on the Lions Talk Live. Southwest Lion, Brother Ken, Kelly Stafford definitely has Matthews back, but I wonder if he has talked to her about cooling her jets. If he has, it hasn't worked. Yeah, I don't think you're getting her to throttle down. Brother Ken, Brother Ken, Southwest Line, I know sometimes somewhere along the line he has to say, cool it, baby. Yeah, and I wonder how much that would upset her. Phil, that's stories why you don't work for the NFL. I'm probably not on their Christmas card list. How about that? Southwest Line, Dan, you could almost do a documentary on some of the bogus calls against the Lions. The Calvin Johnson overturn of a catch in Bears game and the pickup of the flag, the Dallas playoff game, it stands out. Yeah, I want to say for those who don't know, I think it was 2014, if I'm not mistaken, Lions playing Dallas. Picking up the flag, if it was just that, Southwest, I probably could, move on that. Hey, refs made a call. My problem is the overt next reaction to that play call. Des Bryant, who is not a defender, steps on the field. That's a 15-yard penalty. He also steps on without his helmet. That's a 15-yard penalty. So in that single play, you have basically, whatever it ends up. You got two 15-yard penalties, 30 yards, whatever the pass interference was. Don't hold me to this, man. It's been over a decade. I want to say it was 20 yards. So basically, you washed out 50 yards of penalties, but by just saying, we're going to move on from this. And that wouldn't happen to the 49ers. It sure as heck wouldn't happen to the New England Patriots of that time. And I'm not going to spend all day on it. I think we all get it. Lions got hosed. They got hosed bad. They've been hosed many, many times before. So I don't think MCDC is going to lose any sleep over this. I'm just saying, if it was me coaching there, I'd just say to the guys, hey, you cannot leave this game into the officials' hands. You've got to play through it. You got to do everything you can. Those last 6 minutes, there's just zero chance any kind of 50-50 call in the playoffs could somehow be misinterpreted or just not called or whatever. Billy Ken, meet Barry Sanders when he was playing, about 5'7", 200 pounds, and solid muscles. Yeah, remember below his waist, those legs, man, they were just massive. I mean, he could dunk. He could jump up, just standing still. Didn't have to run. He could just stand still, jump up, and dunk a basketball. I remember that part. Kerry, never heard of complete the process terminology either before that game. Been a fan for 51 years. Yeah, and you'll probably never hear it again. We'll put it that way, and I'll summarize that. You'll probably never hear it again. Robert, Lions must play well enough to take the refs out of the equation. Correct with that, in my opinion. Your opinion, too, it seems. No more letting teams abuse play clock and guards lining up 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, i.e. Chiefs, all game and called once. Correct with that. Let's see, Rob. MLB is the same way. I remember announcers complaining that no one outside the state of Missouri cared about the 1985 World Series, Kansas City versus Cards, but they always wanted a Subway Series. Correct with that, 100%. And hey, it's pro sports, man. JP Southwest. Let's see. The Sue push on Cutler is another one. Correct with that. I mean, there's so many you could reference that just it is what it is. JDC. Lions, let's see, win the Super Bowl before the NFL now messed up league goes south on us. Could be. The Trim Reaper Lions are going to have to go through Kelly Stafford's Rams again. I gave you my prediction. I think it could. I don't bet, as you guys know, but I'd say it'd be I would not be shocked if it was L.A. the Rams versus Lions in the NFC title game, and then something like the Chargers Lions in the Super Bowl. Southwest line, the NFC games are all of them toss-ups to me. I'd be surprised if any of them are runaways. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very good playoff series for the NFC. I haven't really looked at the AFC that much just because it doesn't concern me. But I could see anybody winning each of those games. I think they're that evenly matched for the most part. Courtney, Rams team, coaches, staff, all will be affected by the wildfires, 100%. To some extent, Vikings win. Okay, fair enough. Southwest, I actually think both LA teams will win because the Fires are going to be extra motivated to win for their fans and the people of Southern California. Correct with that. Brother Ken, newsflash, the NFL has moved the Rams home to Arizona. Yeah, for this game they have, and I know the Vikings were upset about that. They thought you'd be hosting, but you don't get a home game. You are the away team. Rob, Brother Ken, they had to. The air quality made the game unplayable there. I still have friends out there. Yeah, I know it's affecting a lot of people. Drum Reaper, I think Dan is right about the mail. Show me the money. 100%, man. 100%, man. It's a business, right? And, hey, businesses try to make more and more money. Lansing JP, Lions fans, do not miss out being a Ford Field for the NFC Championship game. I know that place will be packed, man, when the Lions get there. Southwest, I'm in Mesa, Arizona, and totally makes sense. The Cardinal Stadium is top-notch. Yeah, that thing, man, it's great is what it is. Brother Ken, Rob Kendall, I used to live in L.A. Yeah, I know some of you guys have. All right, Rolando, what do you got? A well-rested, hungry pride of Lions is dangerous. Exclamation point, go Lions, back at you. JDC Magic 8 Ball says, Mother Nature wants to know which humans are starting the fires in California. That I don't know. Sarge, let's see. Good morning, Dan and crew. Isn't the Rams getting moved to Phoenix, Arizona? They are. They are indeed. Really, kind of used to live in L.A., and breathing the smog was bad enough. Yeah, there's going to be less smog for a few days, and now all smoke. Southwest Lion, let's see. Championship teams don't worry about who they play. They're always about how we play. Agreed with that. Flathead Philly wins, Commanders wins, Rams win, and Commanders win. Lions face rookie standout quarterback Jaden Daniels. Woo! I'll go with that. Let's see. Southwest Dan, congrats on being nominated. I do think you should get in. we'll see, man. It's beyond my pay grade to really know how it all works. If it happens, great. But again, I'm keeping my expectations low. So if it doesn't happen, I'm not disappointed. Let's see, Rob MHSA. If so, say hi to Walt Baum when you get in. I'll see what I can do. And again, who knows what will happen, man. Dennis, good morning. Dan the Duke Crew, same to you. Lansing JP, yep, that's how it seems to work out. A lot of the same matchups. Yeah, good teams face good teams. Manifest nothing better than having a stress-free weekend of watching football. Yeah, you can just kick back, enjoy your Mountain Dew or whatever you drink, and have a good time with it. Lansing JP, Money Talks. Might have to slide Benny Franklin. There you go. The Trim Reaper. Coach's nose ain't brown, so Hall of Fame is shot down. That ain't right. Hey, it happens, man. I'm joking when I say that, Trim. Maybe I get in, maybe I don't, but we'll see what shakes. Shaft, the Lions are the better team with Gibbs and running back one. Yeah, they're explosive. How about that? Lansing JP, Rams nothing getting past Minnesota Southwest. Okay, not getting past. Excuse me, JP. Rams not getting past Southwest. All right, there we go. Let's see, brother Ken. Don't forget, Jared Goff has a chip on his shoulder for how they gave up on him. Ideal. You're correct on that. Buzz, come on, Packers are going to get creamed. We'll see. Let's see, JP, Hall of Famers aren't like they used to be. No, they're not, man. Hey, we got spikier hair than most. Southwest line, brother Ken, Jared Goff has to be one of the most disrespected quarterbacks in the NFL. That might be true, man. I don't think he gets much play. Let's see, Southwest, I'm not in a hurry for our guys to back on the field. They need this break mentally and physically. Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think we all agree. It's a good time for them to kind of rest up. Southwest, come on and kick know what? All right, we'll kick some butt. Let's see, Miles Marker, brother Ken, I lived there too, several places, keeping an eye on the fire map. All right, Phil, awards mean nothing. Wins for the players is what's important. I'll go with that 100%. Hey, D13, I haven't seen you in a minute, man. Good to see you. That was the dumbest mistake. I have never heard AG didn't take the interview because of how the Patriots treated Gerard Mayo and fired him after one season where he was set up to fail. That's why he denied. Okay, maybe that's it. Thank you for that. Yeah, I did. I guess I didn't even think about that. Brother Ken, Southwest Line, no stuff. ESPN and the rest refuse to give Goff credit. Yeah, I think they avoid him, especially that big head Jason Whitlock. There you go. Phil, coach plays the game for the right reasons. Let's hope so. Southwest Line, the Chiefs are the model organization for Super Bowls at this point. They find ways to win games whoever they are playing. Correct. They do a good job of that. Trim Reaver, LeBron has twice the amount of free throws at the next closest player. Rigorari with the side of Bologna. I'll go with that. Let's see. Rob, quote, you don't call a foul on Michael Jordan in the last minute of the game. Phil Jackson after MJ gets called late. All right, there we go. You're probably right on that, by the way, Rob. Trump's the tinfoil haters were right the whole time. Maybe, man. Maybe. Phil, nice fade, Dan. Does Jen cut your hair? No, there's a lady at right next to the Main Street pub. She did a great job with it, as she always does. Lions, Andrew W. could be. Flathead, got some good news last night. My wife got approved to deliver Sparks through Walmart, etc. We both are in between jobs. She also has a job interview next week. Woo! Hey, congratulations, my friend, and keep the good news coming on in. Let's see, Trump's LeBron is subhuman trash kid Diller. Well, let's hope not. JC, party hardy. There we go. We'll party hard. Purple Kent, this is the Lions' year. Best franchise since the Patriots before they became the evil empire. And they were a pretty good empire for a while. All right, guys, there's about 2 minutes left, so let me power through and get some guys who haven't been on as much. Let's see, D13, I am good with Shep or Deshaun taking over for DC and Fraley taking over offensive coordinator. Or even a Heron. There you go, Miles Marner. Great news, Flathead. Phil, other teams are talking to Duke Crew to be their fans. The money just isn't there yet to be a Cleveland fan. Probably not. Derek, hey, good call on that, by the way, Phil. Derek, good morning, coach and crew. I don't like the idea of promoting from within just the sake of advancing someone. Hire the best available. I'll go with that. Let's see here. Michael Salah just interviewed with 49ers. He did, man. Hey, maybe going back home. Benjamin, time to move on, Kelly. What? No backup quarterbacks available? Ooh, shots being fired. Science Service, are you dyeing your hair blue? That's not a bad idea, man. Maybe do that for the Super Bowl or something like that. Phil, Dan's hair is spiked to make him look taller. Yeah, hey, it's just how it goes. I've worn that hairstyle for a while here. All right. Jason, thanks, Miles Marger. Just for that, I guarantee the Lions will not lose this week. I like the way you're thinking. Miles Marger, appreciating. Silver, I can't wait to see this weekend's games. Go Green Bay, beat Philly, laughing out loud. Trump, Elvis loves Kalamazoo. Yes, he does, man. I can remember when all that hit here. Science service, that would be sweet. JDC, science service. I might dye my hair hollow blue. Hall, half of it already silver. Hey, that'll make it work out well then. Rocky, only one that gets me a little is possibly losing Chris Whelan. Big fan of him. Yeah, big part of the Lions organization, as we all know, for a long time. Hardy, Coach, did you see the stories Lions fans harassing Vikings players' wives and female fans in Detroit? I saw it picked up by a couple of Vikings content creators. Yeah, but I think it's just that. I think it's stories just like the one about a Vikings fan punching a Detroit Lions 10-year-old kid in the face. I don't know, man. Maybe there's some reality to it. I just choose to believe that's probably made up stuff. Outside service, Calvin Shepard will be the DC next for Detroit. Could be. JDC, tick. Trumps, if our coordinators get new jobs, we will definitely be playing against them next year. The NFL will make sure that, yeah, they'll want that story, right? Brian, one thing that I'll be happy about is a Dan Campbell coaching tree that we can watch grow over the years. Yeah, good call on that. King, Coach Dan for coordinator? Probably not. But, hey, they want to pay me. I'll do it. You guys might, if it's on defense, you think you're going to see some blitzing now. Let me tell you, every play is going to be a blitz. Southwest, Trump's genius. That would be tough for the NFL to do. One of them decides to go to the AFC South teams. Okay. Trump's is the schedule already set for next season. Not set, but who we play is set. Michael Lawrence in Jacksonville has regressed every year he has been in the league. Yeah, they need to pick him up, especially since they signed him to another contract. Hardy, I agree. But there were a group of 12 Vikings wives pushing pregnant woman downstairs. Personal direct threats post-game. I think the stories are not true. Yeah, I would think so too, because you would hear something probably regarding it from Ford Field as far as their security saying we don't condone this type of behavior. Plus, let's also be honest. Everybody's got a cell phone nowadays. Where's the footage? You can't tell me something like that's going down and somehow nobody films it. Yeah, I don't buy that part. Good guy. Stanford don't have anything for Detroit Lions football. He can kick rocks. I'll go with that. Chris, AA all the way. Okay. Egon, don't forget that phenomenal face mask. Ooh, that phantom face mask. Yes, you're correct. Correct on that one. Let's see. Steve, didn't want to waste the time on the Rooney Rule interview. Maybe not. Independent Aquaman. Robert, correct, dude. Refs repeatedly trying to mess over the Lions. Again, go Lions. 100% with that. Go Lions indeed. Southwest, the NFL definitely wants the Lions-Rams matchup. Probably some truth to that. Silent service, I remember watching Mel Farb. Dang, I'm old. Yeah, I remember him too and his son. Let's see. Hoogadoo. JDC laughing. Let's see. Patrick. Lansing JP, I love your picture ID. Agreed with that. Eddie's Fish. Hire a Bubba Baker as defensive line coach. He was pretty good back in the day. Steve, most of the time you're too diplomatic. Kelly Stafford can stay there. That horrible state. That's a perfect place for her. All right, we'll keep her there. All right, looking for one or two more. Ed, another good show, Coach. Thanks, Coach. Excuse me. Happy trails. We'll see you next time, Mr. Ed. As always, good to see you around. Trim Reaper, have a great day, Coach and Duke Crew. Woo! Oh, yeah. We'll go with that. Trumps, who cares how tall Dan is? He's not playing quarterback for our team. No, I'm not the tallest dude in the world by any stretch of imagination. On a good day, I'm 5'8". With the hair, maybe I'm 5'10". So we'll take that. Some of you guys will get that for Fletch movie reference. Independent, Miles Brown, I'm talking about outside of the media metro area. The fire didn't start in the metro area, okay? Tim, you are such a busy man. I sure hope you are spending quality time with your new bride. Yeah, we hang out every day, man. You got to make time every day, right? Let's see, Trim River, drop that like button. Yeah, if you guys can hit the like and subscribe button, that'd be great. Southwest, it's fair to assess the effectiveness or lack of effectiveness of current politics when it comes to the fires and social. Yeah, who knows how those things started? I have no idea. Rob Melfar, Superstar, was the best deal. Yeah, I remember those commercials. All right, guys, if there is breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible when available. I've got a game. It is game day for my team, so if it's in the late afternoon or evening, it ain't happening until tomorrow. But if you guys would be so kind before you leave, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the share button, all that stuff. It all helps out a ton. Go be a good human being. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Hey, protect each other out there. We'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. See you guys.
Excuse me, sir. Would you... Donations to the Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus. Oh!
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Of Jerry's kids. Oh, yeah. Scientology.
Or nuclear power?